our heart, and we all can, cherish this. So let us start with our prayers. Mataji, you have the display, or should I display it? Let me just. Mangala Sharan.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I don't have the slides actually.
Yeah. Okay, one minute. Just give me 1 minute.
Sorry, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay. I thought it probably Harsh Prabhu has shared with you. No problem. I'll just give me 1 minute. I think we are having all this. Mangala Sharan. Okay. So now I can just share with that. Okay, so it's visible?
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Oh. Om Agyantimirandasya
Jnananjalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamine Namine.
Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi
Sakshata Desha Tarine.
Jai Shri
Jai Shri
Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya
Chaitanya
Prabhu
Prabhu
Nityananda
Nityananda
Shri
Shri
Advaita
Advaita
Gadadara
Gadadara Shri Vasadi
Sadi
Gaura
Gaura
Bhakta
Bhakta Vrinda
Vrinda.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Hare Hare
Rama
Rama
Hare
Hare Rama Rama
Rama
Rama
Hare
Hare Hare.
Jaya
Jaya Jaya
Jaya
Shri
Sri
Chaitanya
Chaitanya Jaya
Jaya
Nityananda
Nityananda Jaya Advaita
Jadvaita Jaya
Chandra
Gaura
Jaya Gaura
Bhakta
Bhakta
Vrinda
Vrinda.
Jaya Sri
Jaya Shri
Chaitanya
Chaitanya
Jaya
Jaya
Nityananda
Nityananda
Jadvaita
Jaya Advaita
Jaya
Chandra
Gaura
Jaya Gaura
Bhakta
Bhakta
Vrinda
Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya
Jaya
Sri
Shri Chaitanya
Chaitanya Jaya
Jaya
Nityananda
Nityananda
Jaya
Jaya Advaita
Jaya
Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Mukam karoti pachalam pangum langayate grip tapti paham bante Sri.
Jatapatanagam Mande Shri Gurum Dina Taranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
O Bhagavate
Stop
Vasudevaya.
sharing. Yeah. Okay. So I'm already highlighted. Okay, ma'am. So thank you, and I welcome all of you, giving your precious time, especially Sunday. People will be, and I think Tanu Mataji is from Bangalore, so going to malls, people will be going for outing. And Kritika Mataji, which place you belong?
Madurai Prabhuji.
Madurai. Okay. I know that there will be malls and shops and here and then. Generally, nowadays, people will enjoy shopping and outing. And I was also in a mall only when I came here. But actually, the thing is that in the morning I went to center, and because Gaur Purnima is there, our meeting continued till 5 o'clock, 5:30. So I had to rush from there, pick up my weekly groceries. Otherwise, Mataji will not allow me to. Otherwise, he'll say, "You go first, bring that." So anyway, I had to be with all of you. So I did my, and I could see so many people in mall. All were puzzling and all that. I don't know what kind of things they're doing, but I was picking up vegetables, this, that, and all that, and came back. So coming back to our session, really, the as I keep on talking, the Lila Amrita is something which we all cherish because of what? Why? Because we cherish. One just maybe just is like a general. I'm just trying to give you some kind of in eternal thoughts, so that you all can also, because this is something which we are doing for so many weeks. So why Lila Amrita? As I told you earlier also, Lila Amrita is something which is very close to us. Why? Because still Prabhupada, I mean, he may be a great grandfather to all of you. For me, my grandfather. So obviously, we love him. Why we love him? Because he only has given us this platform today. Are we not cherishing it?
Yes,
Obviously,
Prabhuji.
18 of you, including me, we all got the happiness in doing this rather than doing anything else. Can this be normal thing? See, the Maya is so strong, illusion is so strong. We can drag it away. And today I could see actually Puja Mataji, two children in the morning. So Ved and Slok, the name also given by Mataji's Puja, and so Ved and Slok. So I was so happy. And really, in fact, I mean, that moment I could feel that being a mother and then looking after the children and making them understand the purpose of life. What Prabhupada did is given us the purpose of life. Am I audible, Mataji?
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji,
Hare
clear
Krishna.
Prabhuji, it is.
So the purpose of life was taught to us by Srila Prabhupada, and that is what we are today following. And that is why Prabhupada's life story. If we see what we are doing is we are reading the life of the Prabhupada. It becomes Lila Amrita, Lila Amrit. Why Amrit? Because the nectarian thoughts by reading Prabhupada's book, I became a devotee. Many of the ISKCON devotees are there just by touching the book of Prabhupada. Maybe they might have read 1 or 2 pages. They got associated in the temple with the devotees, and today they are devotees. So that is why this is very, very, very near and dear to all of us from our heart, and that's why we want to cherish it. Anyway, to start with it, because we have some time left over. Prabhu gave me that you should continue from 7:35 till 8:05, but CS Prabhu has not joined till now. So maybe just I took some benefit of that. So I'll continue till 8:10 because I have, I don't know if CS Prabhu joins by that time, because I have
Hare
another.
Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Govardhan Prabhuji also have joined, Prabhuji.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Govardhan Prabhu. So, okay, then let me continue from here. So where did we leave as always I ask you, so that we can connect, last session and this session. Where did we leave and where did Prabhupada go?
Australia, Prabhuji. Prabhupada went Australia.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. And which was the month? It was in the month of May 1971. Correct? So we can keep, and I did actually last time I gave you, I gave you that who were the two Prabhus who went before Prabhupada to establish a center in Sydney in Australia?
Prabhuji, Upendra Prabhuji and Balivardhan.
Yes, Mother. Thank you so much. Actually, Upendra Prabhu and Balivardhan Prabhu, they went, and what they did, and what were the two things which they were doing, the devotees there? So they were doing only two things, because see, they went and set up a center because they were still disciple of Prabhupada, but what Prabhupada could do, they were still new to that. So Balimardhan Prabhu and Upendra Prabhu, what they told to you do two things, which has been told to us by Prabhupada: do Sankirtan and do book distribution. Yes. So remember these two things. These are two golden thumb rules of becoming a devotee. First thing is participate in book distribution so that you can develop humility, humbleness. And second thing is what I said, Sankirtan. So that when you do Sankirtan, Lord gets happy. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he gets happy, obviously he will bestow what he will bestow?
Love of Godhead.
So love he will give, he will bestow the blessings, and by that blessings what will happen? We will become a devotee. And why? Because I am asking this, because the very purpose of reading and trying to assimilate all these things and talking about with each other. Obviously, you all also know all these things. It's not that I'm trying to, yes, but I'm trying to bring it on the one platform, maybe 20-25 minutes. I just want to go through that flow so that you all can understand that how Prabhupada established so many centers, and today we are following that on the same footsteps. And our the great many of the senior Vaishnavas and Guru Maharaj and many of the people, they are day in, day out, they are on this mission to spread whose mission?
Krishna's mission, Chaitanya
Mahaprabhu's. Yes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission, that Sarvatra Hoibe Moronam. So every village and every city, my name will be there. So that's what was the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And now everybody was like all the Guru Parampara they were following, and Srila Prabhupada took it to a different level. He took it to the Western world. And that's what was the intent of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, who was Guru Maharaj of our Srila Prabhupada. So now we will see that already here one thing actually somehow I missed out. Probably I had mixed it up. So I just want to correct it before, because it's very important that which I tell something, it should not go in the other way. Actually, I talked about one Mataji. Do you remember one Mataji's name? I must have told that. Okay, so anyway, Vaibhavi Devidas. She was one of the devotee who, and I told you that every time Sankirtan they used to do go for book, they used to be captured by police, put behind bars, and after some time they were released. So Mataji actually, she was making the sacred thread. I told you the sacred thread, no? Actually, I think I told somebody else's name. So if I remember, but actually when I read once again, so it was basically Mataji. She was not, because Prabhupada is giving instructions that flowers has to be, because altar was not ready, deity's installation was not done, so everything was to be done, and time was very less. Prabhupada has instructed you bring this, that, and all. So flowers, strings, and she was running to find out where is the flowers outside, and also she was told to make. Actually, she was told, not I think Tamal Krishna Maharaj said no. Actually, Mataji was told to prepare this sacred thread, and you know how Mataji will prepare, because I mean, it's basically a Brahmins who will prepare this, this sacred thread which we are wearing. So this is called like Yagu Pavitra Janav, and in Sanskrit we call Yagu Pavitra, and in Hindi it is called Janav. So this sacred thread, she made it because I think one of the Prabhu was there. He showed that this is my sacred thread, and on basis of that, she prepared it, and Prabhupada gave that to the people who were there, and he initiated them first and second initiation. It was really the mercy of Prabhupada. Today, if you want to get first initiation and second initiation, you know you have to do so many courses. First initiation, you have to do disciple course. Second initiation, you have to complete Bhakti Shastri course. Then only you are eligible. And then also it is mercy of Guru Maharaj, because we take the shelter. And obviously, we don't get second Diksha so easily because it's a Brahmin Diksha. So Prabhupada gave them without, and they knew nothing. So lastly, the temple, the deities installed were Radha Gopinath. And the Radha Gopinath deities were installed. And these deities, Prabhupada on the last day when he was, because he was there for hardly 1 week, not even 1 week, less than that. So last day, he had intense prayer. He did intense prayer to Lord, because all installation was done. And he briefly, he taught them that what all deities and how they should be worshipping, and what all the things they should offer. So many things were there, because see, Radha Krishna deities, you have to have a very high standard of worship. Then lastly he said that these are my children. They are Melchas. Melchas means that basically they don't know anything. So please forgive them and you guide them, because I will not be here to guide them. So I am going back. You please guide them. They will take care of you. You please take care of them. This was the words of Prabhupada. And the same way, the devotees who were there when Prabhupada was leaving, when he turned back and he saw all of them were crying, because they knew that their father is going, who could have taught them more. Like we also in our childhood, our father has taught a lot of things to us. Yes, mother is always the first guru, but our father also. Like for me, my mathematics and physics was taught by my father. And if I became an engineer, it was basically the school. Yes, the school was there, but my father's intent and the efforts which he has done in my child to make me a good, like my mathematics is my favorite subject. So obviously, so father is going, so they are like, I mean, they are not very happy. And every time it happened, whenever Prabhupada used to leave, he also used to feel very, very heavy. But Prabhupada had a mission to accomplish. He has come to one of the continent, that is Australia. So here he has established one center, properly trying to train them. Yes, they are not trained thoroughly, but yeah, he just blesses them. And he gives the blessing saying that, please continue. Radha Gopinath will take care of you. So now Prabhupada comes back, and now by the time he comes back, today we will be going to another place. So Prabhupada, now when he comes back, he asks his secretary and that his permission for United time it was USSR. So has the paper been cleared or not? Going to visiting Russia, or it was like USSR. It was a big. I mean, it's not so easy. It was a communist country, and foreigners were not allowed as such. So the visa and the formalities were there. So by that time, they had got the visa for Prabhupada to travel with his servant and with his secretary. Who was the servant? Arvinda Prabhu. Arvinda Prabhu. And his secretary was Sham Sundar Prabhu. I always talk about him. Who is he husband of? Which Mataji?
Malati
Malati
Mataji,
Mataji.
Prabhuji.
Yeah, Malti Mataji. And Sham Sundar Prabhu, so he was instrumental in what things he had done initially. If you remember.
Rath Yatra, San
During Rath
Francisco.
Yatra, what he has done?
He prepared that this one,
Deity.
Prabhuji.
Deities.
Deities.
Yeah. So Rath was prepared by Jananda Prabhu.
Jayanand.
Yeah. So that photograph you will always see on the Rathas wherever ISKCON is taking Rath Yatra. So coming back, so Prabhupada immediately told all of them. So all of them boarded the train for flight for Moscow. They reached Moscow, and the journey, as usual, was not very, very conducive because very cold. As you know, Russia is almost like having a Siberian climate, top tropical climate. Above the tropical climate, what we call is like a semi-arid zone and all that. So the climatic conditions were not very conducive for Prabhupada, and he stayed in a hotel which was very near to Red Square, the place which was there. So as such, it was an expensive hotel, but Prabhupada said that when I went into the room, it looked dingy and small. Hardly one big cot and two chairs can be accommodated in that room. But Prabhupada told, because Shyam Sundar Prabhu room and Arvind Prabhu, because they were staying together. So Prabhupada's room and their room was little away from, and on the same floor, but little away. So Prabhupada told Shyam Sundar Prabhu that please send Arvinda. Arvinda, he will stay with me in my room. Just imagine, somehow he crammed up and whatever it is, and because Guru Maharaj, but Prabhupada had certain other ideas. That's why he called. Then he told Arvinda, now, first mission of yours is to go and talk to the authorities that we will not take prasadam here. You know what kind of prasadam they eat? If you have, anybody have experience of Russia? Any of the devotees over here? Okay, so they will, I should not narrate here. They will eat raw things. I don't want to take what raw things they will eat. So it was very difficult for them to, get some like a Vaishnava Prasad and all that. So he told first, go and tell them and make a place of, get into a bargain so that they can give you a place, because they will not take Prasadam there. So even some, arrangement was being done through government only. Because see, one thing was there, Russia, you can only visit with the government authorities, giving a less, and somebody will be accompanying you in Russia. Nobody will allow you to move from here. I will tell you further. So, this is 1957. So then Prabhupada, his servant, Arvind Prabhu, he went and he talked to the manager and further other people. They said outrightly they rejected it. But he was cajoling, and then he said that we have, the old person, his health is not good and all that. He just kept on asking, and finally they allowed them to cook food in the maid servants like kitchen. So now Shyam Sundar Prabhu was called, and Prabhupada said, you go and arrange some food. Like food means raw food, so that they can make like some wheat or rice or something like that, milk and all that. So and some vegetables or some fruits. Shyam Sundar Prabhu went, and after, when he came back, what he had? He had just one bottle of milk. And then he said, Prabhupada, here it's such a big problem. If you go outside, you have to stand in line, and that line is so big that it took me almost 4 hours for me to bring back one bottle of milk. And then again he went, and then Prabhupada said, okay, but we have to get something more. So then Prabhupada said, again Sam, see, his disciple, yes, Prabhupada, I will go again. And then he talked to the manager and he tried to find out that where he can go and get some fruits, some vegetables, at least. So next time when he went out, what he got after searching so many things, he only got red cherries as a fruit. So here Prabhupada said, what is this? You are not able to get it. He said that, Prabhupada, what to do? Every time I'm going, it takes me hours and hours. And just imagine, morning he started, and by evening he comes back and he gets these cherries. So that was the state of condition in Moscow. People were not even allowed to get, there was a rationing. Like every house used to get 2 loaf of breads. House may be big as, maybe there may be 10 or 12 people, but they used to give only 2 loaf of breads. I remember in those times, because my father, where he worked, Heavy Engineering Corporation, that was basically established with the, was established by USSR. So there were a lot of, Russians who used to come and stay in Ranchi. And there was a Russian hostel where they used to stay. But Dobry Vecher, Dobrushu. So these things we had learned from them only. So these Russians, they were very disciplined. One thing is, they were disciplined. But the problem was that so much of rationing was there that people were feeling, they were not like, getting everything in abundance. Today, what we do, we'll snatch. If you go here, in the mall, we'll snatch this also, will without knowing, we'll pick up and keep it in the basket. We'll use it or not, we don't know. But slightest of the hint, we'll take it and put it. There was a shop. Inside that, you have to go, and then you have to show your this card, and then only they will sanction you. But being a foreigner, he had, because he had that visa and documentary thing, by the help of that, by next day, they were able to get little more food. But Prabhupada's mission was, because the stay was not for a long time. So Prabhupada actually told Shamsundar Prabhu that now we have to meet Professor Kotowski. So this Professor Kotowski was actually, he was a professor in one of the universities, and what he used to do is, he used to have study of Indology. Can anyone say what is Indology? Do you know?
Maybe about the Indian literature.
Yeah, very right.
Vedic literature.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Who said that? Sorry, Mataji, I just could not make the.
Seema Prabhuji.
Seema Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji. So correct, you are very correct. So basically, Professor Kotowski was one who was an Indologist. He was an Indologist, and he was study of Indian history, literature, philosophy, and culture. Why he was studying? The interest of his studying was basically that they wanted to study our culture, and they want to introduce their culture into our culture. They want to do fusion of that. They didn't have any intention of learning and incorporating in their culture, but rather the other way around. So that's what. That I will just. So Prabhupada said to Shamsundar Prabhu that you please arrange one meeting with Kotowski. Just try to find out where he is. And then the guide, which was, see, as I told you, they cannot move out without anybody's permission. They cannot move out. They have to have a guide, and that will be government. Government will sanction them. So what they did is that, okay, they talked to the guide, and then he said, and they told that Professor Kotowski so person is there, and we need to meet him. So we have come down from India to meet him. So okay, they said that what is the purpose? They said that they did not tell that purpose is that our purpose is to put the seeds of Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, they will never allow. So anyway, they said that we do. Actually, he's a person who is studying about Indian cultures. We just want to interact with him, and maybe because we are from India, we can give him some more inputs. So they told all actually lies. So Shamsundar Prabhu was taught by Prabhupada that you don't tell anything about our mission. So finally, Kotowski got agreed, and his university was outside Moscow, outskirts. So the vehicle also was arranged by the government itself. So that with that vehicle, they basically moved. And Prabhupada, finally, when they reached, they saw that Professor Kotowski, he was like in a head of department or whatever, but he was sitting in a very small room. And Russian, actually, communist, sometimes you will really feel that what kind of culture they have. So he's a professor, and he is sitting in a room which is not actually congenial for people to sit and talk. But anyway, Prabhupada with Shamsundar Prabhu, they went inside, and then Shamsundar Prabhu introduced Prabhupada to Kotowski, professor. And then they sat down, and then Shamsundar Prabhu said that we have basically come to meet you. And he said that then he said that Prabhupada wants to talk to you a little more in details. So what was that? Prabhupada said that modern life is deprived of our original purpose of life. He started with the sentence, that modern life has deprived us of the original purpose of our life. They don't know. They don't know what, who doesn't know, even he included even Professor Kotowski also, that they don't know that what is our next life. And there is, I mean, there is no college, no study, no department which guides us to understand that. Professor Kotowski is nicely sitting and listening because he don't has any answer, because he was even, Prabhupada has actually accumulated everybody and he said this and that. So then he said that, I mean, professor was, obviously he was studying Indolo, he was an Indologist, so he knew many things. So he started to ask some questions. Prabhupada nicely answered all of them. But ultimately what he said is, we are dead means everything is over. So that is where Prabhupada just noted down that this person is like not, he's such a ignorant, he's under the deep mode of ignorance, and his concept is not more advanced than any anybody. He did not tell on the face, but he said that he is more like an animal. He's still on the platform. So, and when Prabhupada said that my actually intent coming from such a long distance over here is, basically I want to address your college. I mean, certain intellectuals who are there, who are interested, like Indology, because people are studying Indology now. So he said that in your department, if you can arrange a lecture which I could talk to them, interact with them for some time. You may decide the time, half an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour. Papa just thought that if he gives me a chance of even 10 minutes or 15 minutes, I will stretch it to 1 hour. so that, I mean, Prabhupada always used to do that. So anyway, that person never acted. He said, no, I cannot give you any of this of your requests. And finally, Prabhupada said, okay. So after a lot of pursuance also, Samsundar Prabhu requested that Prabhupada, I mean, he told about Prabhupada, who Prabhupada is, what he has done. He said that we are not interested in that, because our mission is only to understand about other culture and try to, what to do, not to incorporate in our culture, but try to disturb other culture. So anyway, he did not say like that, but he said that we cannot give you the permission. So then finally, Prabhupada, after staying for 3 days and just going through all these atrocities, and then finally the mission gets, the balloon is punctured. Prabhupada, when he was sitting in the car, the limousine which was arranged for him. So when he was going back, then he said, Samsundar Prabhu, okay, we'll go back. They came back to hotel. And then Prabhupada started, because there was nothing else to do. So what Prabhupada did is, he started to translate, as though every day his mission was one directed mission was to translate Srimad Bhagavatam as soon as possible. So he, in the night, he used to translate and he used to get massage. And because his health, obviously, for the traveling part, if whenever you travel, your body pains more. So, and at his age, probably. So Arvinda Prabhu used to give massage to him. And obviously, the climate was not very, very cold over there. So Prabhupada was chanting and doing translation. So finally, and they had, like, because they didn't have much time also, but obviously the visa period and the hotel which was arranged for them, they wanted to stay over there just to see that how there may be a possibility, because Prabhupada was never afraid, and he was never dejected that I cannot do it. Prabhupada always had certain kind of flicker in his mind that yes, certain things will happen and I will be successful and I will be able to do it. So one day what happened is that when they were in the hotel, they could see 2 persons who were standing outside the red square. So there was like, area wherein military, that military people will march, do the march past, tanks will move. And Prabhupada said that these Russians are just like it is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, they are like modern asuras. Because every time they are ready to fight. So Prabhupada said, and these 2 people, these 2 people were actually wandering. Who were those 2? These 2 people was from the Indian origin, and basically his father was in this Indian embassy, working for Indian embassy. So his name was Narayan, and another person was Ivan. Ivan was a friend of Narayan. So both of them were actually loitering over there. Shyamsundar Prabhu was crossing from there, and he was as though he was wearing his white, like a kurta, dhoti kurta, which I am wearing, and same way he was having, he was bald headed, and he had a shikha, and that also brown color shikha, because our hair is black color, but they have, because he was from American, that also. So he had a red color this little brownish in the color, red color, you can say, that kind of sikha he was having. So they were completely astonished that how come such a person? Because Narayan knew little bit of that. Immediately they jumped and stopped. So Shamsundar Prabhu said, Hare Krishna. So because he immediately understood somebody has stopped him. So then he said, Hare Krishna. And then they said that, how come you are here? And so, I mean, they started to interact. Then he said that, yes, we are from ISKCON and we are Hare Krishna people. So we have come here to meet actually some of the professor and all that. But now since our number of days to stay back over is getting over, so we had met. He went back basically. He had gone outside to bring some vegetables which he could not get, as though a little bit of some lettuce or something, whatever he got. So immediately he said that actually I'm struggling to get vegetable and would you? And then he said, would you like to meet my spiritual master, a great sannyasi? So they were immediately their eyes sparked. So yes, we will meet. So immediately Shamsundar Prabhu saw this moment and took both of them inside the hotel. Even meeting also is very difficult. So, but since they were staying that the arena which they were staying was like an hotel, so okay. So these two people entered and immediately Shamsundar Prabhu took them to Prabhupada. And then what happened is, Prabhupada, when he saw them, he said that these are the two people. He wants to now, we got two people. So then Prabhupada, as know what we say is, Vancha kalpatra kripa sindhu evacha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnebhyo namo namah. So he made him Vaishnav. How he made it? I'll tell you. Because they were like Pangum Langayate Grim Tab Kripaham Bandesri Guru Dina Tarinam. So that's what is, we sing, no? Just now we sang that. So we don't know anything, but Guru will Dina Tarinam. We are Deen, and he will do Tarinam means he will remove all the obstructions in our life. So Prabhupada is sitting and then he started to give. And they were listening for almost like 4, 5, 6 hours. Prabhupada kept on talked about Bhagavad Gita because he knew the time is less. Time is very less and I have to sprout it up. So immediately Narayan, he said that I have got many contacts and what I will do is that I will get these vegetables and all this thing get supplied to. Because rationing was there, so they were not getting. He said that don't worry about it. We are getting vegetables and rations from India. So I will try to bring all that. And he promised. And Ivan, he was little more like, he was a very intelligent. And Ivan actually had lot of, when he was seeing in the eyes of Prabhupada, he has lot of mesmerization. He was getting that feeling. And when he came to know that we are not body, we are soul, he was completely puzzled. He was scratching his head. Nobody has told him till now. See, Russia was a place where, religion and all these words are like in a farce. They don't even think about it. I remember that first time Mataji's and Prabhuji's, when they were preaching was going on, Maharaj from Russia, he came and told that they were crying. First time they came to know that somebody is there as a Krishna, in the name of Krishna, who is basically, taking care of all of us. And they could realize it. So what happens is that when there is a barren land, like a barren land is there, and first time when you plow it and sow the seeds, what will happen?
It sprouts, Prabhuji.
Sprouts, Prabhuji.
The cultivation will be high. I remember in one of my terminal, first time in the terminal, when I was Indian Oil Terminal where I was working and I was posted as a terminal manager, I saw one piece of the land which was lying vacant and it was of no use. So I told basically the person who was taking care of the gardening, the gardener who was there, I told him, please plow it and let us put some carrot seeds and this radish and some, palak, palak kura and all those things. I put that. So like my interest was there always that. So when he put that, then he came after some time because he used to water and all that. After maybe a week or so, he came and, sir, kitna acha aaya hai, so beautiful. So I also went there and I cherished those, green leaves and all that. So same way the barren land, Russian people were barren land. And Prabhupada knew that this is the right place I can sow the seeds. And one person, he said that one flower can, the fragrance will get exploded out everywhere. One flower can give the fragrance to the whole room or whole the place. So the same way, one seed which he said that one flower which is sprouting up in the name of Ivan, because Narayan, He was basically from Indian Embassy. Obviously, he will get back again to India or some other place. But Ivan is the person who is a Russian who is going to stay back, and he knew little bit of English. So Shyam Sundar Prabhu basically gave his Bhagavad Gita, because there you can't take books also. Books were also not allowed to. Your trunk, if you find some books, no, they will be confiscated. They will not allow it. So Shyam Sundar Prabhu actually told them that this is my personal, I mean, like, some writing things and all that. So that is why this book is there. So somehow they allowed it. So he gave his personal Bhagavad Gita to him. And Prabhupada, whatever number of days were left out, he kept on explaining and he kept on teaching him. And he knew that I will initiate him. Next time when I come, by this time he will be doing this. And then he took a promise for him. What he said, that Ivan, now this Russia is in your hand. And Krishna will come with you. So you keep going from place to place, and wherever any promise that I will try to get it translated in Russian language, and I will try to, as you have told me, Prabhupada, because when they entered first time and when they saw Shyam Sundar Prabhu stretching his body, prostrating and doing this Dandavat Pranam, he was completely amazed, that what he is doing. Okay, Narayan knew a little bit of that. So ultimately, he also bent down on the knees and he gave his pranam, Panchanga pranam. But Ivan was not doing it. But he was just, very curious. And today, for the knowledge of all of you, Russia is one place where we have maximum number of devotees. And it is known as, what it is known as? This country is known as Gauradesh. It is known as a Gauradesh. So many of the Prabhujis and Matajis, in fact, many of the Matajis are now there in Mayapur, and many of them have been married also over here in India. They just want to stay back here. Many of them are in Vrindavan. Prabhujis, and the Maharaj, they are doing tremendous job. In fact, in book distribution, see what is the population of in Russia. Here, 140 crores of people, and when we talk about the book distribution, we talk about we have distributed so many. Still in the world, they are ranked in the top 5 or 6, whatever. Number of population you can imagine, very sparse. So just imagine the intent of them. And I remember, because it will take much time, Hare Krishna, Gordhan Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Gordhan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Dandavat
Pranam Prabhu. What's the program, Prabhu?
You are done, Prabhu?
Yeah, I'll complete in a minute, because I just wanted to know so that you can continue. And
Prabhu, your wish. Actually, we plan to talk about Chaitanya like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because his appearance day is there on 18th. We thought we'll give little bit inputs from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from Adi Lila. If it is okay, we'll continue that, Prabhu, or else you can take your time.
No, Prabhu, I will just, because I already exceeded my 10 minutes. I will be joining, say, because Srimad Bhagavatam says, this Bhagavatam session is there. You can continue now, and
Okay.
yeah, just let me conclude with that. So, so Mataji and Prabhujis, what I was saying is that Gauradesh. So these Prabhujis and Matajis, they come here, and that's what was told by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It was told by Bhakti Vinod Thakur that one day at this place the congregation will come and they will be shouting. What they will be shouting? Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hari. Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hari. Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hari. So we sing, no? Jaya Jaya Gaura Chandra Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vinda. Jaya Jaya Gaura Chandra Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vinda. So Prabhupada, now I will leave this from here. Next session, we will again continue with Prabhupada's Lila Amrita to next place where he goes. And now you continue from here, you will be able to listen to Gordhan Prabhu, because now Chaitanya